Welcome at long last to a video from our new San Diego house. We moved in here mid-July and spent the first few weeks kind of getting all moved in and organized, and now we've been in like heavy weekend project mode. So there's not been much free time to say the least, but I finally have my whole craft office area / pin room all organized. So I wanted to give a tour today of my brand new setup here. The physical pin boards themselves are all new, so I have a new setup here. And then I'll also show how I have all of my crafting ear supply set up here too. So let's begin the tour. So first, I will do a little bit of a 360 of the whole space. You'll notice this is not actually a bedroom, this is a loft. So I am down a wall that I normally have stuff to hang on. But otherwise, it is a really nice space. So on this back wall here, this is where I mainly have pin boards. I used to have a big blue IKEA futon, which we donated before moving. And so instead I got this nice little Wayfair chair, since I like to have a little bit of variety when I'm working on ears. And then all of these new pin boards, these are from Michaels. So these are where they're very inexpensive and like very cheap quality pin boards. But the only reason why I like them is because the actual cork itself is really nice and soft. You don't have to worry about damaging the pin post at all. A lot of the large size previous boards I had were from Target, which I would say they're higher quality, but the cork was so hard. I had so many bent pin posts. So although I wouldn't say I really like these boards, I do like that they're very good for very safely and easily kind of like taking pins in and out. So I'm obviously not going to do a full pin collection video, but I'll kind of briefly share what I have on each of these boards. This top board up here, I have all of my Emperor's New Groove pins. So this really doesn't look that much different than how it was before, and I do have some more good real estate space for new pins there. And like how I had at my old place, we have Zootopia right below it. So with Zootopia, I before had to have like a little extra pin board to put pins on, but I was able to fit everything on one here. But it is kind of at max capacity now. So I have already put up a little mini square cork down there that will be spillover from Zootopia and other pins, like this small board down here where I have my Coco pins and my Wally pins on there. So since we're kind of filled up here, anything new coming will go on this little board here. Then on the top pin board here, this is mainly kind of attractions pins and then also some classic Minnie and Mickey. So I have monthly pin sets up at the very top since those are harder to reach, and obviously I won't be adding new ones to those, so kind of collected sets. Then I have Splash Mountain and Tiana's Bayou Adventure there. We have Tower of Terror next to it, kind of climbing up into the middle, and then kind of Minnie and classic Mickey there. So I'll have to see how else I can kind of make more space here, since I know they'll definitely be coming out with Tiana's Bayou Adventure pins, and there's not much more Tower of Terror, but we'll get to that problem when it happens. And then below that is my board of mainly kind of, attractions, parks, and resorts. So this is basically set up the same way, where I kind of have Disneyland at the bottom, shared up to Magic Kingdom, Disney World, and then we have California Adventure, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios in the corner. Then above the door here, I have this little pin board of Pixar pins. So this is not a cork board, this is a foam sheet from Crack and Trade. So I've got kind of Up and Inside Out, Toy Story, some other Pixar ones, and then my John Ratzenberger collection. On the door itself, I have added some hooks so I can display some more bags. So I love my Tokyo Disney hamburger bags and the pass holders there. And then opening up in here, another hook inside, trying to maximize space. And then here is where I have a lot of my craft storage, and then also all of my lounge flies. So unfortunately, I don't really have space to display my lounge flies out. since they really are like cool display pieces, but they all fit in here on the top 2 shelves. And then below it is where I have all of my crafting and ear supplies. So kind of like organized into buckets, headbands, and a nice little pull-out drawer. I've got these other organizers, these I had before, just holding a whole bunch of my supplies and stock. And you can see sprinkles in here, a whole bunch of kind of my extra stuff. We've got foam in there, a whole bunch of extra fabric in the back there, fiberfill. We've got all of my acrylic paints there, and then my foam sheets here. So I've tried to, again, as best I can, maximize this space and kind of organization, since making the ears that I make, it takes a lot of components. But what's nice is all of that kind of messy stuff stays out of view in the closet. Then here's the full look at this side wall. So I have 2 bookshelves here. These were my bookshelves. They used to be in the guest bedroom, but there's not enough space here, so they take up a lot of the space on the wall here. So kind of interspersed with the books are a little bit of kind of like collectibles, display pieces. Some of my absolute favorites are these AP mobile order buttons. I love the artwork on that. And then up on the top actually ends up being some pretty good display space. So you can see I've got some Legos there, a little popcorn bucket, some figurines, and then even more Baby Yoda stuff. And then as best like I could, I added like museum putty or quake hold on the bottom of these so that they hopefully don't go anywhere. Then I have a new big shoe rack that holds pretty much most of all of my ears. Before, I had a lot of my ears stored on kind of like a shoe holder that hung vertically in a closet, but I needed something that could stand on its own. This is from Amazon. It's super cheap. I don't really like it, but it is at least pretty effective for now. So here's kind of where I have more of my specific, like from Disney ears. I have ears from other small shops, and then a lot of the ears that I've made on the bottom. Plus, I think Tokyo Disney Resort is the very, very bottom there. And it works out well. On the top, having some little plushies there. I just have one hook, kind of like extra displaying ears there, and then a little bit of artwork here. And what I also had before this is, you know, technically more of like another shoe storage organizer. Got this from Costco a few years ago, and this is where I have most of all of my kind of frequently or heavily used fabrics, and then up at the top, again, kind of more frequently accessed crafting supplies. And then tucked in here, I have some table trays just in case I need to kind of get some more space out, or especially like if I need more room for ears to be drying on. Then we have this wall here with the window and my desk at it. This has just a shade, but I'd really like to get blinds instead since it's kind of like a little all or nothing with the light coming in. But this is the kind of only other wall where there's some space, and so this is where I have more of my pin boards. So we'll start on the pin board at this side. On this one, I have split with Rescuers pins and Goofy Movie pins. And above that, I have Galaxy's Edge plus Mandalorian and Pandora World of Avatar, and then I kind of put some more attraction Shanghai related pins there. At the top pin board up here, this is all my sweets and snacks pins. This was another pin board that I had maxed out and kind of on a secondary one, but I was able to be more efficient with space, and I have a little bit of extra room on there. And then at the top, we have some smaller pin boards. So on some of the squares, I have Moana with a little bit of Lilo and Stitch and some tiny Frozen. Then I have my board of geology related pins next to my iconic framed set in the center. And then 2 more small pin boards, one that's basically kind of like random movies and cats, and then other kind of like pin trading pins and some other kind of personal geared pins on there. And so there's at least some more space there. So then I have my desk area here. This is a new desk from IKEA. This is technically, I think, sold as like a kitchen table, so it gives me a lot more space. It's kind of more depth here, and it's much better material that's kind of easier to clean crafting stuff off of. Got a much nicer chair from Amazon. I had before been using a super cheap Target folding chair. I've tucked a little filing cabinet under here so I can have just some more of like actual like office paperwork, and there's a little bit of kind of random doodads up there. But this has been really good with space. I kind of recently found these inexpensive headband holders on Amazon, and they are such a game changer for my ears. I don't know how I didn't find them sooner. Way better than like drying things on like random cups or oatmeal containers. I did get a new, actually set. I have another one in a closet of these racks. This I kind of used to display ears on, but now it's kind of better for like part storage when I'm making ears. So I've got some other Rice Krispies in progress. And then we move on to the final half wall here, the fourth side of the room. I've got tucked in this corner a little display of tchotchkes, and this I used to have in the guest bedroom, but again kind of is going in my space now. And then I have some new additional storage. This is from Amazon, and this is where I have, you can see peeking out, even more fabric storage, and then other kind of like little crafting bit supplies, kind of, you know, other markers, whatnot. So that has been good for storage there. Another one of these headband racks. I have my thermal label printer here. And then this was the TV console from my original apartment. It had been in my partner's office, but I have taken it back here since it kind of works perfectly with this space. So I have my Cricut maker and my printer on top of it. And then inside I have a whole bunch of related things, kind of like heat presses, the other kind of Cricut cutting mat accessories, some felt in there. And then below we have some vinyl and then other kind of random bits and bobs here. And then the last thing in this space is this little organizer. It's sold as like a bathroom toilet paper holder, but it works perfectly because it's very shallow and fits in with this space. And so this gave me some more good real estate to display some more of my little like tchotchkes and Disney collectibles. So I love this set of Mickey ornaments there, some snow globes, other little bits and bobs here. And this is where I keep a little bit of my pin backs. This is just a very small portion of them in there. This I can use for kind of like other pin backs. Here I have backer cards that I need to sort. And then in here is actually where I have candles. I went a little candle crazy during the pandemic. I like the idea of candles more than I actually like using them, but they work out well with storage there. And as a quick bonus, I have a few more things here. So this is kind of just at the end of the hallway, and this is where I have some more ears. This is a different type of large acrylic headband holder from Amazon. So these are our other ears that I've made, a lot of stuff from DIYs. This is stuff that's out a little too seasonally early, but maybe I can make some sort of display here. But then inside here is where I have some more of my pins. So this is where I have all of my backer cards, my big bag of pin backs, a bunch of my other traders, some extra pin boards, and then I have all of my big other pin books. Those are kind of in the guest storage closets, and so those take up quite a bit of space. And then once again, here's just another little 360 of my brand new crafting and pin room space. And so that's what my new space looks like here. Obviously, I don't have much room for pin expansions, so I'll kind of have to be thoughtful and careful in how I collect and organize, but I really love this space. And also, we are loving San Diego. We are loving the weather. The only thing we don't like are the murderously bad drivers. I have never seen such awful, inconsiderate drivers anywhere. But the other aspects of San Diego are lovely. Next month, I'm really looking forward to going to the Oogie Boogie Bash. My next project that I have to tackle is making the costume for that. I'm going to go as Marnie from Halloween Town. So I've been taking screenshots throughout the movie to work out like how exactly to make this. So probably next weekend I'll go to Joann's and try and figure out all the supplies and like try and start putting it together. I don't really DIY or like sew, make clothing. I'm more kind of like an objects DIYer, so we'll see how it goes, but I think it'll turn out pretty cool. And it'll be super awesome to go to Oogie Boogie Bash for the first time. So thank you for hanging around as we've made our way out here to California, and thanks for watching.